we are a nation under God. Why is that important? The emphasis of we are a nation under God. Why is that important? In the Enlightenment, the Enlightenment thinkers in Europe.
The use of IT by your generation should be much easier, should have a greater impact, should actually turn things around with the administration of justice. The development and giving support to the judicial workforce and the institutional capacity. Improvement of coordination, partnerships, and accountability. Improvement of public awareness and the image of the judiciary, and the enhancement of resource mobilization and management. The judiciary administration under my charge, we've done our part with considerable success. I thank God, I thank my colleagues in the top management of the judiciary on the issue of resource mobilization and management. When I took up the responsibility being Chief Justice of Uganda in 2020, mid-2020, the magistrates in this country were slightly over 100 magistrates in this country. Just slightly over 100. The judiciary budget, the money at the judiciary's disposal annually for quite some time had been 198 billion Uganda shillings. Why 198 billion? And second financial years, the judiciary would be lucky and would come to 199, just 1 billion more. When my administration took charge, the first thing we fought for, I remember I was sworn in August 2020, my first new law year, my first annual judges conference of new law year was 2021. I made it my responsibility, my frontal concern to fight for the judicial mandate. I raised this matter with the head of state when he raised the and I was glad that the judiciary of Uganda cannot serve the people. On the weighing scale, the service provider for justice, which is the judiciary, was woefully neglected. So that financial year 2021-2022, the judiciary budget was increased to over 300 billion. Immediately we got away, from recruiting 10 grade 1 magistrates, and when they recruited 18, they would say, we have recruited so much this year. First we went to 100, we went to 80, and we kept it at that pace. So when they took up the leadership of the administration of the judiciary, when magistrates were 140 something, I mean, the registrar would tell that to bring down. $400 and something. So what was obtained is just a quarter of what we are now. If you add registrars, assistant, deputy and full registrars, the lower bench is now 500 plus. This was pursuant to the strategic objective which we set ourselves to achieve. Before, we would have held this conference in a courtroom. Now, I do not have sufficient premises, even in the new building, to host this. I must now go back to the Ministry of Finance and say, I think I need money to construct a conference building which can sustain this. Because by God's grace, I can see the magisterial force can reach 1,000 in my lifetime. I would have wanted to retire, but I can see it will reach 1,000. I can see by God's grace again that will be able to host magistrates in some counties. We can reach that situation where judicial officers wait for work and not work waiting for judicial. And people decide to read that this happens during my lifetime, even if I come and I'm 3 legs, I will read it. Because then you know that yes, you appreciate the importance of the judiciary in the scheme, the national scheme of things. So we've done our part as administrators of the judiciary. And I thank God for making it happen during my tenure as Chief Justice. So it is important. The questions, it is important that each of you and all of you collectively take time and reflect on how much you have achieved. So what the things I've read, the things I made now, did to mention you individually, what have you done? Because if we have to implement and we continue to implement those objectives, that's when we can sit back and say, yes, we have afforded our people access to justice. We have truly answered God's call because the most coveted destination point in this country today, the most coveted destination point is the office you're holding in this country today. When they advertise for 40 positions, they get over 1,000 applicants. 40 positions, over 1,000 applicants. Who have to be sieved, they've got to be sieved out, and then at the end, you are part of the 40, you are part of the 30, you are part of the 80, you are part of the 100 who are being recruited at each particular time. I really want you to reflect. I really want you to, because why has it been you? Somebody else could have been where you are. Many other people wanted to be where you are. But by God's grace, you were predestined by God to hold the office you are now holding. An office which the Lord denied over 200 people just to divide the space. certainly want you to reflect. What am I doing? What am I doing as a judicial officer? What a privilege you have. So what are you doing with that privilege? What a privilege to be Chief Justice. You are there. People in this country can be Chief Justice. There are over 500 who can be Chief Justice. So what a privilege is it for me to be there? So what a privilege for you to be the grade 1 magistrate in Kataway, in Bundubudu, in Adjumani, in the islands, in Lake Victoria, in Luego, in Bolego, in Kisoro. What a privilege! It's a privilege, knowing that you're not the only person who could occupy that position. So how are you going to say thank you to God first for giving you that privilege? How are you going to say thank you? How can you make the people of this country for whom you're holding this office, in whose name you are exercising justice, how can you make them thank God for giving you this office? How? You. When you talk of justice, it's you. And by the way, the magisterial mass, which is you, is the face of the judiciary. The one of you think the litigant in Gabon even knows there is a Chief Justice or Chief Registrar or Principal Judge? No, they don't. They know the grade 1 magistrate who is in Gabon. Many of you have never heard of the word Gabon. So when you talk about the judiciary, it's you. If your conduct is ethical, if you render justice equitably, with authority, with respect, when people respect you instead of fearing you, they will speak so well about the judiciary. I will be riding as Chief Justice, I will be riding on the horse you are riding. So it is your bank welcome that will join. I will then be noticed because of what you've done. But it is with the converse. Do the converse. My brothers, sisters, and children, you do the converse. All these battles we fought to have the judicial budget enhanced, what this struggle we made to literally later the countryside, judicial officers would be a waste of time, we would come to ours. Because, and if you were not told during your law studies at the university, law center, or during your induction or other training, then you get it from me today. What you call the court, we say the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the new building, the Supreme Court. That is actually not correct. That is not the Supreme Court. That is the Supreme Court building. The court is only the court when the judicial officer or judicial officers sit in judgment, sit here against. That is when it becomes a court. The court is you. See how powerful you are. See what God has done for you. When you talk about God, it is you. When you're not there, people can chat and laugh and do this or that. The moment you enter, now the court is of story. Meaning, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the new building in Tororo, Soroti, Gulu, everywhere. Masaka, that is hardware. Who has got my phone? Bring me my phone. Hardware, and I want all of you to raise your phone up. Let's raise your phone up. Mine has got the dirt and you know. Invariably, the one with the lady, just show me the back, don't open it. Just as it is. Are we together? This phone here, just the wordless library. I don't now carry a dictionary. If I want all the usages of the word justice, I go to Google. It will bring up all the uses of the word justice. It is in this form. If I want to know the matrix in this place, I go to my phone and I will know where on earth I am, longitude and latitude, and so and so forth, and so and so forth. That's how useful this phone is. It doesn't matter what the color. Mine is dark because it's black. I think the people behind think it's part of my head because they can't see it. Now, because I will open it now, I use one of my things I don't want you to see to open it. I just press, it recognizes, it's now open. Then I go to, I want to break the code. I want to call now CR. Raise your phone, I want to ring. Don't put it in silence. Do you hear? Now you hear. Thank you. All in less than a minute. From opening my phone, looking for a contact instead of, and then I press, voila, it is ready. Now supposing this one was so beautiful, like I saw the one with a certain thing with you know, colors, flowers, and it was very beautiful. I was trying to ask how we had stayed, beautiful. Now, if that phone is so beautiful, it will take 3 minutes to open, 2 minutes to look for the chief registrars, contact, save, and it takes another 1.5 minutes to go through the network to be able to reach her. It's over 5 minutes. Do you say the phone is effective or not? Is it effective? No. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So this is the, I want you to get, this is the courthouse. This one is the courthouse. The court building. It doesn't matter how they're painted, it doesn't matter whether it's story building, it doesn't matter whether it's all in glittering glass and gold, everything. It is the software. It is the software. I know you understand IT more than I do. I belong to the age when there was no, you did our algebra, you had to understand simultaneous equation and so on. Now, for you to go here and get the answer, you don't know what simultaneous equation is. So it is the software of the court building that will make the court building meaningful. And that software, by the way, doesn't have to be in the court building. It could be placed under a tree. So you'll be posted to Kalenga, and there's no building, and you literally sit under a tree. Come. The way you do when you go to visit lawyers. But what will come out of your performance? The justice that will render, because you are the software. People will say yes, there is justice. But if it's the opposite, one first, people will say that maybe it's so good, but that magistrate there is just spoiling that building. Meaning the software is not working. The software which is you is not working. I really want you to have this in mind. So when for us, the central task I set for myself, the central task we set for ourselves as the administration of the judiciary, top management, was that the people of this country must feel the presence of the judiciary. They must be able to go and get justice. And then you say the people who are rendering justice should render it in a safe place, in a place that stands out distinct. You know this is the place which is different from the other places. You try, continue to do, and then we raise your number from 100 and something to now 500 and something, and send you out to the people of Uganda. Justice. We've done our part. How about you? What do you do with that privilege? How will you account to God? Because God will say, oh, who is that? From a magistrate, whatever name. So, I remember you, my child. You were the one who was in Uganda. You remember? Yes. I don't know how they go when you go there. In my language, we would have said Nadim. So I don't know if you can say Nadim God. But you go there and say, oh yes. So you remember the other thing which was given to you in a closed fist. You remember? You remember the other consideration. Now you will begin fidgeting now. Because in everything you do, good or bad, there are always two people who know, even the things we call a secret. There's something you do in secret and something you do confidentially. If I do something and only the justice done on it, the executive director, and I know that I have stolen something, and she knows. That's no longer a secret. A secret cannot be known by two. Well, that is confidential because she is keeping my confidence. I'm not denying confidence. She's not keeping my secret. The secret cannot be something which done by two. So, first of all, the person who has given to you that thing in the closed fist knows, you know, and the Lord God knows. And I swear, the person who has closed the fist to make you come up with a decision that's contrary to good sense. Inside your head, you know your decision should have gone this direction, but because of that consideration, your decision has gone this direction. Because they told you the fellow is the nephew of the Chief Justice, he certainly, by all accounts, lost the case, his life. But because you want to please the Chief Justice, you give that person judgment, and that person. You know, and Lord God knows, so there are two people who know. And then if they gave you some consideration, then there are three people who know. God knows, you know, the person who has given you the consideration knows. At the beginning, at that time, there are three of you. But take it from me, the person who has closed the fist and emptied the fist in US will speak to some other person. That one I can do. Am I lying? So for everybody who comes to corrupt you, you should know that the first people to make all of us know But for you, it is easy to get there. You are destroying the software. Your capacity as the software. You're making the form not now work, and it is the only form. I should go to Radio Uganda and tell the whole world, so I want to notify somebody, I am coming next Monday. I cannot now use the form because I am destroyed. Or I jump on the bus and I arrive and say, why did you use the form? Without the form, no, the form is not working. You destroy the form. The software is finished. So the question is, as you reflect, do you want to be a rotten software? Do you want to be known adversely? Or do you want 40 years? Somebody meets a child somewhere. Say, where do you come from? I come from Kamwenge. Ah, Kamwenge, yes. Do you know this person was a magistrate? That happens to be my father. Is he alive? No, he passed away 7 years ago. God bless you, my child. That person was just. Do you understand what I'm saying? That person was just. Supposing the question, you mean the question happens. I see people, I think, can they improve on the age? I see something. You're turning your programs into fights now. So. Then somebody said, please, for goodness sake, I have to tell you this. I pray for your father's soul, it's okay? He's gone. But don't do even 1% of what he did. Imagine. I leave it with you. This is my second last address to you. I'm addressing next calendar year. And you won't be seeing me addressing you. But I want to leave you with this. I want to leave you with this. That think about the opportunities God has given. And also know that thousands of other people wanted to be where you are. But it is you God directed you to service a mission to think. What are you going to do with that privilege? And your generation is not like ours. If Helen is driving a car tomorrow, Maria also wants to drive the car. But you don't know how Helen came to drive the car. You don't know the family Helen comes from. You don't know the opportunities. Let's assume it is great. The opportunities she's had. Who said if you see a magistrate on the border, then should not render justice? Who says that? I don't know. Is it part of your terms of reference on appointment that you must come to court in a car? Does it say that? I don't know. I was never appointed a magistrate, so I don't know. Who says if you walk to court, shouldn't you always be? Or you come by taxi to a point which is 500 meters to go, and walk to court. Nobody is going to remember that you used to come on a bicycle, or you drove on a bicycle, you used to come on a border. After they will say, that magistrate, the one who is dropped by a particular border rider. You see in our court, you see what it means to manage justice. People will not remember how you came to court. People will remember what you did with the privilege God has given you. So I leave you with those words. So you may have noted that the performance in the last financial year was lower than the previous financial year. We must ask the question, why? If we are increasing your number every year, how come? I mean, something is wrong somewhere. And I hope in this conference, you don't try to reflect on that. and give
To win big numbers is because of him. One more clap. So that's it. My Lord Chief Justice, we thank you so much for those words of wisdom and